Welcome to my first video of Dune Spice Wars. This will be on the Xbox Series X. So when you log into the game here, you'll see that you have a single player, multiplayer, and options, and all the normal type of options in a game. Now we're going to go ahead and go into the options real quick. Pretty simple on the Xbox. There's more options on the PC for this, obviously. But for now, we're just going to show you the single player options. You have your conquest mode, your duel, where it's a fast kind of duel between a faction. And probably for this video, we're going to stick with the regular battle for Arrakis. And the purpose for this game is this RTS/4X style game, which is similar to like Civilization type games, but has more real-time aspects to it. So it's kind of a hybrid between RTS and a kind of Hex 4X kind of game. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick House Atreides. Probably, if you can see, you can go through the different factions. Each faction has its own positives and negatives. Okay, as you can see, you can go through some of them. Smugglers, they're Fremen. You can play as House Carino. Usually I like to play Atreides due to the fact that they have a little bit more political buffs. See, the Fremen are cool because they can spice harvest in unclaimed territory. It's kind of nice. Carino's good. He has, extra building slots, other things like that. But we're gonna use Atreides for this video, and pick that up. Okay, so now we can get to the settings where you have to pick. You have 4 generals essentially. I usually pick Duncan, Idaho, and Gurney Halleck. They're a little easier. You get more authority with Duncan, which is good. So for this video, I'm going to make it simple. 1 bad guy, small map size. The winning conditions I'll leave as domination, or basically I have to kill the guy. If you add in those other options, you can win with political, with power, more money. You can assassinate them. But to keep it simple for this video, I usually turn them all off, and I have just domination mode, 1 guy, and it's random who it's going to be. So for the first part of this game, we're going to focus on trying to build up our Solaris, which is the money in the game. There's a bunch of different resources. You have your Solaris, your spice, you have your plascrete, which is like your metal, you have water, you have authority, and some other factions like that. So first thing you're going to do, you start off with your city, your main base, which is Arrakis for us. You set the ornithopter to auto explore, and then here you can kind of use the spin wheel. So it's a left trigger, right trigger for the Xbox controller. It's a little different than on the keyboard mouse. So that gives you your windows for options. So use the left trigger, right trigger. Your left and right bumper also play a function here. So you select with of course on the Xbox controller, the A, yes, and then you can do commands with the X key. As you see, there's a spice field on unclaimed territory right there. So I'm gonna start building a couple basic infantry units. First thing I want to do is take that neutral city, because it has a spice territory in it, or a spice. So I need to get the spice operation up and running as fast as I can. So you see how my ornithopter's flying around, discovering the dusted out, fogged out areas. He's starting to discover automatically, because I set him to automatic mode. Everything's on the Xbox controller a little bit. Takes some getting used to if you played this on PC. And the reason I'm doing this on the Xbox right now is because I just had surgery. So I'm basically on my couch making this video. Also, welcome to this new channel. If you're just tuning in now, Arrakis Central. And the focus of this channel is going to be all Dune related material, games, media, books, movies, everything just Dune. All clear. So I'm scrolling around the map. You can see it's not claimed yet. I got my infantry guys. I have another ornithopter. Going to set him to explore. And I'm waiting for my other heavy infantry to be made so I can invade that territory right there. So while we're still waiting for my heavy infantry to complete, you'll notice that the up at the top you'll see looks like a spice chome and spice stockpile. That's going to come into play here soon. Okay, got my third guy. We're gonna go ahead and invade this town. So to select all of your units in an area, you hold down A key. You can let go real quick, and then you X button on the location. See, my city has, it's so close to that territory. My city has some defenses, and it's helping me out a little bit right there. So while that's going on, you can zoom in a little bit if you want. So each faction will have some militia that protect it, but these unclaimed cities will be pretty easy to beat in the beginning of the game.
At your service, sir.
I'm about to take that city. Alright, so now you have to use your authority. So that little flag up top, you see it? It's pretty tricky on Xbox. You have to either smash down with your left stick, click in, and you get this little mouse cursor, a free cursor. That's how I did it right there. You can also use your left bumper to go down to annex it. So there's two options away. It doesn't show up there because we already annexed it. So it's annexing. As you can see, now I've annexed the first territory. Now I can start researching. So I'm going to go into research. So to make the most Solaris in the beginning of the game as a Atreides, you want to focus on this first group right here. So we're going to look at getting local community, urban planning, and these three down here. Any one of these in any order. This will buff up your Solari production a little bit better. So I usually start with these now, because Solari's come in to bite you pretty hard later on when you gotta build a lot more units and buildings and things. So now that I got that going, click on the city. Now we need to build militia to protect the city, and then we need to build some buildings. So since this is our spice zone, we're gonna build a refinery. Once the refinery's built, it will generate a spice miner, and then I'll show you in a second after we take this next city. And that's building. The refinery's building. We're gonna go ahead and annex and take this next city. Looking around the map here a little bit, we're actually started off in a good area because we have a spice zone right next to us, and we have a city that's, you'll see here shortly, we'll have a plascrete buff zone and then a fuel zone as well up here in a minute. Alright, sun is setting, that doesn't really matter. We're gonna go ahead and annex this again. I click the flag. Once again, I used the left stick. I clicked in on it and it gave me that little cursor. That took me a while to figure out on the Xbox. So I found out here I'm gonna have a zone that gives me 20 Solari production. So I need to build a research hub there. It tells you right there what you use to use the buff in that zone. So I need this volcano land, and then I'm going to need to expand out to that city. I need that to get fuel cell factory there. And then down here you see there's the plascrete buff zone. So once I take that city right here, I'm going to send my guys right now.
We'll take them out.
Take this next, then I can build a plascrete factory. You can build a plascrete factory anywhere, but you get more when you build it in that zone. So now, as we wait for these areas to build, we're taking this next village. You can see right here, I'm still researching those areas. To first buff our Solaris. I'm gonna go through and see what some of these factions. Yeah, so those three right there are the primary you want to use. Get first, and then you can move over to the I call them the military sections. So now we're taking that. Okay, so I'm clicking on my Spice Harvester. It's complete. So if you look down some of the options here, you have safe mode, but you can't activate safe mode until you assign an ornithopter to it. So I just selected an ornithopter. He's coming over. I can't add a crew yet. I don't have enough manpower. So now I have a ornithopter. Now I'm putting it in safe mode, and now I can deploy it on the D-pad. For these options, use the D-pad on the Xbox controller. So now it's going to come carry it, and now it's going to be in safe mode with the ornithopter, and if a worm comes, automatically redeploy it. So that part is done. We just have to get manpower so we can beef up the crew on there. You can add extra crew. So it looks like we're in the lower right of the map. So that's good. And we actually got ourselves in a good little pocket down here. There, he's harvesting spice now. And right there you can see what the spice bloom looks like, a little zoomed in. Go back over here, waiting for this to fully annex. And then I'm going to see what we're going to do next with our troops here. So we need to start looking at some of the buildings.
Okay.
What buildings we need to build on our settlements that we captured. So now we need to assign some agents. We have an agent ready. And if you look here, the first areas you want to bump up with agents is Chom, because that will also give you some Solaris buffs. So if you look right here, 2 slots, put your first agent in there, and these agents give you plus 10 Solaris. So that's also a good one to beef up first. Really, after that, you can do whatever ones you want, but I do recommend you do the Chom company first. And Chom companies basically, in the lore, they're the spice brokers of the galaxy. So we'll make a video about that later on. They're like the Wall Street of spice. So let's see here. Move those guys over. I need to see what buildings. So I'm going to build a couple buildings here. And I need to build a I need to build, there we go. I need to build a research hub here, because remember I can get a buff from that building that's here. So that's going to help us get more Solari. I usually kind of focus with getting more Solaris, because if you start going negative, you can't build anything. Let's see. Got those 2 things building. Now I'm taking over this settlement. Okay, our first lands red council. So as you can see here, these automatically pop up. What you can do is you can vote on certain factions. So usually if it's something really good, I'll vote House Atreides into it. I'll go and, like, for instance, we want the... So this one I don't care about these 2 since we're doing dominate or annihilation. So I want to make the opposing faction have something bad happen to it. So the House Ekaz, I'm going to go ahead and vote for them to have the -1 spice exchange rate. So I'll beef that up, all my votes. That way it pretty much ensures that's going to happen. And you go over and don't forget to confirm. Bam. They got the ECAS got the -1 spice exchange rate. So there's good things too you can vote for yourself later on. And you usually hit about 180 total votes you can push. So they're still fighting. These guys are still fighting. I need to get to that settlement. I need to get the zone up there. That's my goal. Click on my city. So the right trigger on your Xbox controller brings up this menu, and you can cycle through. You can see all the ones that you want to look at. I use this a lot, mostly to go to the spice exchange, like I just did. And this is where you'll want to pay attention to your how much is being sold and how much is being stockpiled. So Chom's gonna come looking for a certain amount of spice every 20 days, whatever, how many days it is. If you don't have that stockpile, then you're gonna have an unfavorable action happen to you. So you can either just sell off all your spice for salaries, or you can put it all the way purple, which builds a stockpile for them to get later. So if you don't have to have a large stockpile, like their mission right there, if you see says contract 80, expected 98. So they're going to get 80 at the end of that cycle. If you don't have 80, you get in some trouble. If you have 80 or more, they take that and you get what's left over, and you can just sell it off or whatever. So you got to pay attention to that spice tracker. And we look at some of these. I said you could focus on the 2 top ones is what I focus on first usually. And then some of the ones down there in the local district status, those are honestly, I'm playing Annihilation, so I don't even care about that lower left panel. All right, so we can see we have spice coming in there. So we just took the settlement, but we don't have enough authority to take it yet. So I kind of got, so authority up here is this little building. Right now I only got 36 authority, but it wants 64 to be able to take that facility, so that town. So I can't really do it yet. So either just have your guys sit there and wait it out, or you just come back to it later. Oh, somebody wants a trade agreement with us. So let's see, we got a trade. House ECAS wants spice, of course, because I just hurt them. And they want to give us plascrete, so I'll take that. We'll take that. I need the plascrete. Now I got my spice levels are kind of low, so I might not make my quota. So I got to beef up that production. So I'm just gonna put it all the way up for now. I'm still making positive Solari, even with the spice bar all the way up, the stockpile bar. So I'm not negative in money making right now, so that's good. So we're kind of waiting for these things to build. Boom, there's the next one building done. So we need to start thinking about water production. So the dew collectors. And I gotta see if this guy, he also probably should build some. So these are missile defense systems. You need to put a couple of these out for defense, because you will get raided by the enemy faction or marauders. So I'll put a couple of those out, and then kind of beef up some of your militia. Go around to your settlements, make sure your militias are all beefed up for self-protection. Sometimes they won't survive an assault, but they might give you enough time to move your forces over there. Okay, so you can click on your main city once you unlock your 2500 hegemony, and we might just have enough money to, not quite, boom, right there. So you can add buildings to your main city. And I usually go with the stuff, as you've guessed it, the stuff that makes you Solari first. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this real quick while I make my selection, because I just got attacked. And I'm probably gonna go with the one that's gonna make us Solaris. Oh, one of our settlements is getting attacked. I don't have any defenses. I only had one militia. I can't build anything, so now I'm gonna try and move my forces over. So I'm gonna abandon that annex and then bring them over here and unpause. Use that pause. I use that pause a lot in the game. And now they're fighting, holding them. This is exactly what I just said was going to happen. They're going to hold them off until our new guy. It looks like they're not that powerful, but the problem is I can't build any new units while they're in there. So they're slowly making their way. And your troops are vulnerable to worm attacks while they're walking around the desert, by the way. When they're not near a city, worms can get them. You'll see that like a red triangle warning sign, and you gotta get the heck out of there before you get swallowed by a worm. Alright, so here they come. It looks like they're doing okay by themselves anyways. But our guys will probably help out a little. Yep. And they're not going to stand a chance against that. Okay, so we saved that settlement, so you can see an example of that right there. I'm going to have them go discover, if you send troops, these little, like, crashed vehicles and relics and stuff out in the desert. These little icons, you can reveal what it is, and then you can get a little bonus. So this one, if you click on it, here in a second. The timer. So I'm gonna get the ornithopter, free ornithopter. So you can get free items, plascrete, solaris, stuff like that, off these abandoned vehicles and things. We'll wait for that to go. You can send one troop. You don't have to send all of them. So we'll wait for that to go, and then bam.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Got that extra ornithopter. Let me click on him real quick. I don't think I have enough. Nope, not enough manpower yet to add crew to the spice miner. And I'm gonna beef up their militia.
On duty.
Now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with these guys. Am I gonna go all the way back over there to take back?
Sir? Yes,
I
sir.
should have enough authority now, so I'm going to go back and send these guys back. They'll have to fight the militia regenerated again. If you fight a settlement, beat their militia, and then leave without annexing, they'll regenerate their little militia forces that were in the city. So kind of a pain, but small price to pay. Build a little bank there. +4 Solari. Not a bank, but a little. Basically, it says it sells spice and water, but I've never really seen it affect the numbers.
Ready.
I'm gonna go ahead and set him on auto. You guys are probably getting the gist of this now. Plascrete. Okay. Oh, okay, so we're fighting that. See, we gotta fight these guys again. Perfect. Okay. So, they're about to win. Armory ain't open yet. Okay, so you have an armory where you can add improvements to your troops, but I don't have the armor yet. So we took that. It's got enough. Boom, we're annexing it. All right. Well, that's still building. I'm about to get a Solaris buff here from our city. That stuff's still researching. So we are going to continue on researching these areas. All right, so you can see what the different things specifically do. -30 for building, Solari upkeep. That's a good one. It makes it cheaper to have buildings running. That's a worm sign right there. It just popped up there. Yep, so you can see the functions of these different areas. There's a worm sign. See, I had it set to safe mode, so the carry-all carried the carried it back for us. I need to fix that a little bit, because I think we have too much. Right now I have more than what's needed, so I can lower this down and make some money back. We're not making any spice right now because the harvester technically is not mining. He'll go back out automatically when the worm sign is gone. Alright, so click on that. Add a building. I'm going to add a wholesale market. We have this building now, so we need to add buildings to this zone. There we go. I'm thinking about doing a manpower addition, because we're too slow at making manpower right now. So that'll beef that up a little bit. I'm debating whether or not to go try to take this town yet, because I don't have enough authority. It wants 84, and we only have 40, so probably we'll wait that out until they're ready to go. And at the moment, our stuff's pretty well set up for the early game.
Received.
I got research going. I got Solari up intake. I got my first spice mining going, and I think we're pretty good for their setup and the basics of Dune Spice Wars. Pretty cool. Probably, I would say, I mean, it's the best Dune game out right now. It's not the greatest grand strategy game out there. For people that are hardcore Civilization and other, it might be a little too simple, but if you're a Dune fan and you're looking for something to play, this is definitely the game for you. It's on Xbox Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass, it's free. And I think that goes for the computer too, so I'll have to look that up. But I own it on Steam, and I have it, and I'm playing this on this version. Obviously, is the Game Pass version. But until we get our Dune Awakening, we're probably pretty much stuck playing this game. It's the same company, actually. So this is pretty fun. It does, after a while, after you figure it out, it does get slightly a little boring after a while. But if you can't find a friend to play with, it's pretty good. But overall, this is the early part of the game. I'll make a part 2 video showing the same match, see a little how it goes a little farther. Right now, yep, so you got to beef that up. I wanted to get that 300 Solari per controlled village, so I voted for myself for that, and I got it. Other than that, I'm just waiting for some of my buildings to build, and so I can keep. So basically, you just got to keep expanding little by little, and then don't forget defenses along the way, because the enemy factions will start probing you. But I think in this map, I'm pretty strong. I'm set up pretty strongly. But other than that, if you do like this content, please like and subscribe. I'm working on my my second Dune book lore video. I hopefully have that done this weekend as well. So like and subscribe to my channel. If you want anything Dune, this channel will be dedicated only to Dune. So I won't be moving off from the subject matter in the future. Alright, so I will see you guys in the next video.